that keyboard typing in there. I like it. So
Retyping.
last time that you guys were here in Netherdeep, you guys were recalled to the Library of the Cobalt Soul, and you met with Jamil, who said um, that the tensions between the allegiance of Alsight and the consortium of the Vermilion Dream had increased in the past week. Um, that the rift of the Netherdeep is guarded by an aboleth, um, and that aboleth seems to believe that it is the Apotheon of legend defending its realm against the invaders, with the Netherdeep being its realm. And the other piece of information that he gave you is that the Apotheon is said to have died in Kael Morrow at the end of the Calamity. So the Aboleth could be a bizarre manifestation of the fallen hero, but he is unsure. So um, the Apotheon's name is Elixion. Um, Elixion, the Apotheon Elixion, they're synonymous. But his quest to you, um, he gave you 3 days to do it. He said if you can convince, if you can find out if the Aboleth is in fact Elixion, maybe it'll listen to reason, and try and convince it to allow you to enter the rift. If it will not listen to reason or allow you to enter through into the Netherdeep, to kill it, and to find additional keys to enter into the Netherdeep. By keys, he means weapons or items that are infused with the ruidium, of which Pell already had the short sword that was granted to him by the Cobalt Soul. So you guys entered back into Kael Morrow. Um, you met some ghosts, acquired some tablets, and learned a little bit more about what they were here, and they just didn't want to be forgotten. And that they swear that they saw the hero Elixion be stabbed to death by Grumsh, um, in the church. You guys entered into the Church of the Archheart, where you had another vision, and the jewel of um, vestige that Ono wears around her neck evolved into its exalted state. From there, you kind of traveled up this side cliff into this busted up villa where you found a very large tentacled jellyfish that tried to kill quite a few of you, and used Carrie as a human shield against Ono's attacks. Upon killing it, you guys acquired a ruidium great axe, which Ono now has in her possession. You found 2 emerald rings worth 1,500 gold pieces each, a string of pearls worth 750 gold pieces, and a ring of shooting stars. And then you began your short rest. During the short rest, you guys all felt a infusion of power flowing through your veins. And after the rest is complete, a couple of things happened. Um, you feel yourselves to be stronger than before, and you all have leveled up to level 10.
Yeah.
And then during the short rest, as you guys were kind of all just sitting down, kind of making some snacks and kind of just relaxing and recovering from the fight that you just had, and kind of just focusing on what's to come. You saw Naf kind of just swim off, and without saying a word, as you went to kind of see where he was going, you could see that he swam back towards the general space of the library that you guys had passed through where the ghosts were, leaving behind. He left the stone tablets that you had acquired from that were haunted by the ghosts, and on top of that, the ring of shooting stars. So those items are currently in your possessions, and if you wanted to attune to the ring of shooting stars, whoever wishes to can. I put it in Carrier's possession earlier just so I didn't forget about it. But you guys have that and the tablets available to you now. The tablets from the ghosts. Um, yeah, and you guys have the rest of Kael Morrow to investigate and to kind of explore, knowing that you have to find another key that will let you into the Netherdeep and hopefully find the aboleth and either convince or kill the aboleth. So.
Hmm.
What would you guys like to do?
Goodbye, Nath. Uh, First off, Carrie, do you want that ring? I don't really need the ring, so.
Well, I mean, I do kind of, but also it would give you some like long range magic if you.
It would, which could be helpful if.
Yeah. Tell you what, why don't you take it for a while, see how it works out. If you end up really not using it, you can give it back.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Alright.
I will take it out of my inventory.
Alright, and I will add it into yours, Pell. Just
Thank you.
so you have it. So give me one
My
second.
only long range are hand axes, so
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
complaining.
this gives you some options, especially as a kind of opening move. So
You are
give
now
it a
also,
try.
yep, you are now attuned to it, and you also don't have dark vision. So from this, you can cast dancing lights and the light cantrip. So you can
Oh
give
shit.
yourself light whenever you need to. It's got those charges. You can cast fairy fire, and if you open the item up on your sheet, you'll see what the spheres can do. Just if you ever want to use it for those things, just let me know. And you get 6 charges a day, and it gets 1d6 of those charges back every day. So don't feel like you have to be hesitant to use it. It's not one of those things that if you use all the charges, it can explode. It's just when you're out of charges, you're out of charges, but you can always cast dancing light or light from it, no matter what.
Oh dude,
So,
this thing is awesome. What?
It's pretty great.
hmm so yeah, you
So,
now have a. Do you want to cast the light cantrip so you now have light coming from yourself?
well, don't we have? I
Uh,
mean, that would be.
you have.
I have my globe,
Yep,
but
Carrie does have
having
the
a
globe.
little.
Wait, does the light cantrip take a charge? No,
No, it's free.
that's at will?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right, so it'll be another one of these where you'll get 20/20, bing bang boom. So you guys are stacked over each
Yeah.
other,
Oh
so it's
my
super
god.
bright. But yes, and you
The
also
sun.
with dancing lights, they can also make 3 little like orbs of light, but that
Yeah.
requires concentration. So every time you would get hit wearing that, then you would have to, you know, do
Because
that. But
I'm
you can also
concentrating
send
on
light
so
further
many
out and make like little
things.
floating globules. So, but yeah, so
Alright, alright, alright.
But yeah, so you have down the path, the other way up the path where you guys were going, you saw that there was a watchtower. That was the other direction up the path, and you went here first because you didn't want to have to double back, or go up and double back in here and then go back down. So
You.
either way, you if you go back down the path, you would have to double back, but you just went here first. So
I'm going to assume that since we found the Ruidium Great Axe here,
mhm,
there's a pretty solid chance that there's a Ruidium something in that watchtower. And we already killed the thing that turned the stuff into stone,
correct.
so maybe it'll be safe.
I mean, that's as good as logic as I need. I'm not gonna fight with
Perfect.
that logic.
Alright.
I agree. I think that is.
Impeccable.
Wait. Just double checking. We just took a short rest,
Mhm.
and we all are like doing okay on the rest of our like abilities and feeling okayness. Just
Mhm.
we didn't like use that all up last time. I just double checking. Don't want to just in case. As much as we can expect it to be nice,
Yeah.
we don't know if it's gonna be nice.
You guys kind of have
I'm doing
the
good.
best setup as far as like resting capabilities because Pell gets all of his features back except for his Indomitable on a
Indomitable.
short rest. Carrie gets
It's
all
so
of
good.
her wild shapes back on a short rest as well.
I get nothing but hit points, but it's great because that's all I needed.
You basically
I
have 212 hit points anyway. So
Yeah, no,
God
it's fine.
damn.
whenever she rages, yeah. So,
Mhm.
but yeah,
I have no actual complaints. Just
but yeah,
that's
you guys
for
have
the
like the
record.
best setup as far as like abilities to regen. So there you go. But
Look at us.
yes. So, you guys are free to leave the villa and move however you want. Remember, the path is basically you just are in a straight line. It can't hold 2x2. It's just single file, and you can see everything that you can see with your light.
Do you want to take the lead, Ono?
Do you want? I don't have dark vision and I don't have light, so I feel like I'm a bad choice for
You know what?
taking the lead here. But you know what? I'll do what you want me to do if that's. I'm a
I
good
mean,
meat shield, sort of taking the lead. So
And it's not super dark down here either, so you can
If you
kind
would
of
like,
see ahead too.
and I can move my drift globe so that it is
ooh,
closer to you.
then I'm fine to take the lead. So which direction are we going? I can't actually see much of this map, so it's hard for me to tell where I'm supposed to be going.
Well, right now you're just behind a door, so if you were to move out here,
Oh, that's
then
fine.
you can see. So
Then
basically,
then I'd be able to see more.
yep, you can basically anywhere on this path. This under here isn't super dark, although it should be. I guess I should have taken your light away because you're in the darkness. Well,
No.
no, you can
You
see.
know-
You can see what you can see.
Okay.
are we like? Can we see sunlight above us? Are we in like a cave kind of thing?
You are hundreds of feet underwater, underground, but you got the glow from the bioluminescence floating around. You have the glow that emanates from the big rift of the Netherdeep,
Ooh,
which
okay.
you can see is coming from over this way. And you guys have the light emanating from around you, and then the light globules that the Allegiance of Allsight have kind of embedded in different places so they can see. There's enough glowing light around here that there's stuff that you can't necessarily see through, like the walls, and there's a big thick kelp forest up here that you can't see through the thick kelp. And you can't obviously see inside buildings from outside of the buildings, but everything that you can see on the map, you can see.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
And if I recall, the path, the little sort of path, it is got bones all around it.
Yes, the cliffside path is made of head-shaped chunks with screaming faces and dismembered hands, arms, legs, and torsos of humanoids, and those are all petrified remains. So they're all made of stone.
Interesting. I would like to, as we move out of this onto the path, Carrie's gonna sort of float down, just feeling away, and just kind of put her fingers on one of the skulls. And since we're underwater, I'm just imagining it's almost like very translucent jellyfish tentacles instead of the spores.
Mhm.
I'm casting Animate Dead.
Oh, on like just one of the heads.
Yep.
All right.
And it says if you choose a pile of bones or a corpse, it will raise an undead creature.
Okay. So give me 1 second here so I can do this one thing right quick here. All right, cool. That is, I was doing a thing for. Oh no. So
Oh no.
your sheet is now updated accurately.
Woo.
Yes, with the feat that you requested.
Mhm.
So you cast Animate Dead on just this petrified stone head, and you see, we'll say that you guys are, because it's the path, we'll say that you guys are like out here and here. Alright, so you guys, you look down and you cast Animate Dead on this petrified stone skull, and it kind of, your fungus and mushrooms kind of climb into what should have been closed, sealed off orifices and kind of bring them to life. And you see very slowly over the course of probably the next 30 seconds, it kind of breaks out of the petrification, just the head. And the
Just the
eyes kind of
head?
open a little bit, the mouth
But there's a
opens.
pile of bones. Okay.
Well,
I'm learning.
they're all separated, and they're all pieces
It's
of
cool.
stone.
I'm learning.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Are you? Let me ask you this. So I was thinking speak with dead. So are you animating dead so you can get like a zombie
It
out of it?
creates an undead servant,
Gotcha.
and depending on whether you choose bones or a
Okay. I misunderstood what you told me. For some reason, I thought you said speak with dead, which is what I was beginning to describe.
I'm
But
gonna like lean over to Pell and be like, What the fuck is up with that?
As you see
magic shit.
the stone skull kind of start to depetrify, and you then see it kind of roll over to a torso and attaches to the neck and spine of this stoned, petrified torso. It starts to kind of like shake like a dog does, and its ribs and one shoulder and arm comes free, and it reaches over and grabs another petrified arm and shimmies that onto its left side, and then it crawls slowly down the path, grabbing two different petrified legs. And you animate yourself a skeleton, correct? Oh no, Carrie went away. She's muted.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
When you said "oh no," I'm like, "Why are you talking to me? I didn't do this." And then you were like, "Oh no, Carrie
What are
went
you
away," and I'm
doing,
like,
Mom?
"Oh," and I'm like, "I wasn't doing shit."
Carrie, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Carry on
Is she
my
on
wayward
Discord?
side.
She is. I think she. That's what it was.
Uh-oh.
It's okay.
Uh-oh. Internet problems, my favorite.
My favorite.
Well, in the meantime, really quickly refill my water bottle. Really quickly.
There you go. Whoops. I'll wait for her to come back, and then we'll have that there.
Do I want to pick the Mission Impossible theme or the Star Wars theme as the new piano song that I learned?
Ooh. Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible is fun because it's in 5/4, so
Yes.
that's what makes it cool. Granted, I realize that I don't actually have access to the sheet music for either of those yet, so I should probably just accept that both are good and then go to the music store and see what I can find.
You could probably just print it off the line.
And
The
we're
problem
back
is
to
I need the
water.
correct arrangement.
That's
Like
fair.
it needs to be the arrangement, and I also like need to have, depending on if I do my exam online or in person, I need to have the book because if you're in person, you can't have
Are we
printed
talking
off.
Yeah.
about your piano?
Sorry. Oh, I'm just talking about my piano because Carrie's not here, so I was like, should I play Star Wars or Mission Impossible?
Carrie said her internet just exploded.
Oh no.
Dang. We can wait.
Kaboom.
Alright, so I'm going to pause the recording real quick while Carrie's internet stops exploding. Well, we're back knowing about Guy Fieri. Oh no, it's Guy Fieri. So were you wanting Carrie to resurrect your grotesque being as a zombie or as a skeleton?
Well, it's bones, so skeleton.
Skeleton. You should
Yes.
have a skeleton token in your journal now.
So we
You should just be able to drag it on out.
can count out or her or
If you can't drag them out, then I can drag them out for you.
see one that says zombie. Oh, skeleton.
Yeah, you should. I put both in there, so you should just be able to
I
choose.
forget. Okay, there
Bang.
we go.
And you guys just see this skeleton rise from the stone path. It's just and water is just going. Bubbles are going everywhere. And it just seems beholden to Carrie.
Oh shit.
But yeah. All right.
I don't know. I just I felt as if that was something I could do to help us. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, but it is done.
It's not gonna try to kill us or anything in
I
the
hope
middle of
not.
battle, right?
Time will tell.
Not.
You can
Okay.
also resurrect people as a zombie too, for free.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it's a good thing I put the zombie stat block in there. Just remember, it'll only have 1 HP when it resurrects like that. So.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Yeah, you guys, are you wanting to head over to this other tower, or where you want to head? Say
Let-
goodbye.
Yes.
Okay. And is your marching order Ono in the front, then Carrie and the Skelly Boy, and then Belle at the back?
I think that sounds good.
Okay, I will just drag you guys all
Yeah.
over there at once. Bang!
Oh god.
So you guys get over to this watchtower. You see that this watchtower is perched on a high hilltop overlooking the rest of the sunken city. The structure is roughly 30 feet high, but it seems like it used to be taller. Part of it's collapsed, leaving the remaining structure with a jagged crown of loose-fitting stone. And a single stone door stands in front of you, leading into the tower at ground level. Um, do you guys peer into the tower, or what's your plan?
I mean, I think it's peering time, right? We came over here to peer.
Mm-hmm.
Period time.
Can I peer?
Yeah, you can all peer inside the tower. I'll put you up here.
We do that thing where like we're looking around the door and we're like 3 stacked heads. Four, I guess, because I have the skeleton.
As soon as you said, "Can we do that thing?" I'm like, she better describe the thing where we peek around the door and our heads are stacked on each other.
The Three
So
Stooges
thank you.
peer. Ba, ba, ba.
Yes, exactly. Or the
Um,
little rascals.
Yeah, as you guys all.
Also, just for the record, I'm handing the skeleton my scimitar.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So whenever it rolls,
Does that have a name? I just feel weird having this
Listen,
like pile of
listen.
bones around.
If you would like to name it, you can, but I do not think it is going to be permanent.
It's an it. It's. I mean, like I don't know its pronouns. Does it have
Well,
pronouns?
I also we can't tell at the moment without more examination, and I don't feel like
It
this
can't
is the
talk,
place.
right?
No,
I
it
will
cannot talk.
Can you speak?
I mean, this would be real awkward if we were talking about them, but like they
Yeah.
were.
It looks at you and you just see the head shake back and forth. Like it can understand what you're saying,
well.
Carrie. Like it can follow
Oh,
commands, but it can't.
Okay, when
respond.
if you make it out of this alive, then
Mm.
I'm gonna ask you what names you like, and you're gonna nod or shake your head. Yeah.
It just looks at you with its hollow, empty eyes, not understanding what you're saying.
This
Seems to
guy is
only
creepy as
understand.
fuck, but I'm trying to
There's-
roll with it, you know.
No, if
yeah.
once we get finished down here, is it all right if Ono works with you on some names for you?
So as you guys all stack heads and peer into the tower, you see that a crumbling staircase follows the inside wall as it climbs to a 15-foot high balcony. The stairs continue upward until they disappear a few feet short of the open top of the tower. Armed, wraith-like forms move about inside the tower like a battle-ready garrison that doesn't know the war is long over. Floating a few feet above the balcony is a pale, spectral orc. They don't seem like they are ready to attack or looking to be on guard or attack. They look like they are just soldiers who are ghostly wraith forms of their previous selves, and they are doing what their job was before, which was just to wait in this garrison until given further orders. So
Should we send in our new friend here and see if anything is
got
triggered?
him.
you certainly can.
Make him a guinea pig.
There we go. Put
I
that
mean,
something for her.
I feel bad. We just got to. You know what? Fine. Let's just end a minute. Let's not get too attached.
Don't get attached. Trust me, it's the whole circle
true.
of life.
True.
And here they are being even more useful than they ever thought they could be once they died.
Are you guys just opening the door? Are you guys standing to the sides and letting the skeleton just walk in through the
Yes.
door? Okay, so I'll do this.
I would like the skeleton when they go in to like just salute.
Okay. Alright, so let me do this real quick. So the skeleton walks in and just salutes, and as soon as it walks in and just you hear it just kind of floats through the water a little bit, the sound of bone on bone, just thump. You hear the sound of a bugle just blow and fill the air. And then you hear a voice call out, "Stop! Who goes there?"
Oh no!
And the
Honey,
skeleton
honey.
just stands
Billy
there.
friend can't respond.
Just stands there.
Uh,
I will ask you again.
do we know?
Who goes there or who commands you?
Can I do like I don't know, a history check or whatever real quick to remember if we know anything about, the people who used to live in this city? If I can like dredge up something of an answer.
I was gonna do something even dumber, so I'm glad you thought of something better.
I'll say that you know that most of the people who lived here are likely dead, and these are
Oh
likely
yeah.
ghosts who are just
Well, I mean,
they're in.
like the civilization that lived here.
Oh yeah, you can roll a
What do we know about the
yeah
like rulers
yeah.
and
Go ahead and
that
roll me
stuff?
a good old history check. Yeah.
Since we've kind of been thinking about that a lot in the
Mhm.
last.
12. Yeah. So um, you don't know too much about them specifically, but kind of soldiers in the past and soldiers now and likely soldiers in the future. You understand that they have a very strict order when it
Hmm.
comes to like who's in charge and passing down
Hmm.
orders and commands. And if they issue a request or a command and it is not immediately responded to, then very shortly after that, there could be combat or aggression or something
Okay.
that you don't want to happen. So, using just your general knowledge of like soldiers in history, would
Right.
imagine that this person is waiting for a response, and normally the
Okay.
one who calls out is the one who is in charge. And you
Yeah.
hear as he calls out the second time, you hear the unsheathing of some weapons.
Okay. So from my position right next to the sort of, I guess, half open door,
Mhm.
I just go, Private Ilfa, sir.
And you hear a voice, that same voice. What are you doing here?
Requisitioning weapons, sir. So stupid.
Who sent
It's
you?
funny. I wanted to do basically the same thing. So like you're.
Do
Yep.
we know? Okay, so I look at Palvanona and I go, do we know anything about leaders here when the city was not drowned?
Do I? I don't think I do. I don't even know if I want to roll for it. I don't think I do, man.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna go. The general, sir.
The general, sir. Are you here to join the last wardens of Kel Moreau, or are you here for something else?
I will join as soon as I take the weapons, sir.
He looks at. Well, you don't see him look at the skeleton, but he
No.
looks at the skeleton, floats down, and
No, a named Skelly Boy.
a few seconds go by, and you see floating out of the door this wraith of a creature who looks at the two of you and then looks over at Pell and then he looks at you, the man in armor with a sword and a shield who looks the most soldier-like of anybody out here right now.
What? Are you saying that Oh No, with her pots and pans and her cape of many colors, is not looking like a soldier right now?
And her big hat? No, it's not.
Oh, I forgot about the hat.
He looks at the two of you, kind of scratches his head, and then looks over at Pell and goes, "Did you send the private in? Is he under your command?"
No. That would be that lady over there.
Okay.
He turns around. You, and he points at Carrie, and it floats right up.
Can I just like do one of those like half step in front ofs? Not a full step in front of, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the like.
Oh, dude, it's getting close to her, dude.
Here's what it looks like. Just less, more of like a man and less sexy.
I mean,
It's a good way to describe it, right?
I mean,
It's a pretty sexy sword wraith. Just saying.
God
you
damn.
know what? I'm
God
having
damn.
feelings that I don't understand.
I'm not sure if sexy would have been an adjective, but I'm not saying it's a bad adjective. You know?
Mhm.
You. So you're in charge.
Yes, I am.
You don't look
Where are
like
my weapons?
you don't look like you're from around here, as women right now aren't typically commanders in the military. At least not yet. Um, why are you here?
Perhaps. Oh, okay. Why are you here? Okay. So very spectral, correct?
Yeah, they're very ghost. Like you could see through them. Like you can make out their form
Okay.
very easily, but they're very translucent.
All right. I'm gonna go. Friend, what is your name? First of all,
Um, my name is Beltreath.
and your rank, sir?
Uh, I'm the commander.
Ah. Commander Beltreath, we must have a serious conversation. I am sad to say that this is not going to be good news for you necessarily. Are
He
you,
holds up his hand for a second.
uh,
You're not here to take Hatterai, are you?
excuse me?
Hatterai, you're not here to take the priest, correct?
I have never heard of this Hatherai, so I dare say I am not.
Excellent. His prayers are keeping us safe. His prayers to the Coralon are keeping us safe. Excellent.
Safe from.
Grumsh.
Can you spell that one too? I'm sorry.
No,
Grumsh.
that's
Grumsh, the big bad guy.
bad god.
We
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I know, but
Oh, yeah.
I forgot how it was spelled, and my
Grunch.
brain just needed help with that one. Thank you.
So Carrie's got her hands kind of, her palms together, steepled, and she's just like resting her forefingers on her forehead. She says, I have both good and bad news to give you. Uh, it would appear that Hadorai's prayers are doing something to keep you safe, but
Excellent. I knew his power was great.
the combat with Grumsh is long over, my friend. In fact, there is no easy way to say this, but
He believes you.
you are in fact deceased, among many other things here in the drowned remains of what used to be your beautiful
When
city.
when she says among other things, I'd like to elbow Pell Carrie's also deceased.
We're the only living things here.
Well, that's
Not-
not what I meant, but
not-
you know what? You have a
not
point.
not actually gonna say anything, but I wanted on the record that the
Yes.
elbow bump happened.
Like the elbow
Yes.
bump and the point, like
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
exactly. The
Oh.
elbow bump and the
You
So you're
see,
behind me now, making these gestures to Pal. I don't know. Okay.
you see,
Anyway.
as you say that they're deceased and that there is nothing, nothing about them is alive. You see that the commander's head kind of snaps completely 180 around, and he looks around, and then steps back, looks into his tower, steps in, kind of whistles, and then steps back out to you and turns his head back to look you right in the face, and he goes, "You know, I wondered why I was cold and we all looked a little thin and pale. It makes sense."
That would be why.
I did not expect him to just take it.
Is there anything that we can do to tell your story?
Well, I think we'll all be able to move on as long as we've been protecting Hatterai and from Grumsh, but if we're dead, then we clearly failed. His goal was to try and cleanse the temple. So if you could cleanse the temple and then help to is the Apotheon, does he live, or is the hero dead?
That's
This is
a
very
question we'd
complicated.
love to know the answer to.
Indeed. I am happy to report that the temple has just been cleansed
I was about to say, I'm
for
pretty
the
sure we just did
glory
that.
of Coralon.
Yeah, go Coralon.
Yep. And
Excellent.
we are not quite certain about the Apotheon. That is, in fact, why we are here.
Ah,
It has been, as I said, quite some time. There is an aboleth in these parts who
oh yes. We've heard it, and we've seen it swim around.
it seems to think that it is Elixian.
Oh,
I wonder if you have anything that you might be able to contribute to that question.
um, hmm. Gonna roll a history check on this Sword Wraith commander. You know, that's not terrible. Um, I don't know for sure. That's not. I'm not necessarily magical or a historical buff when it comes to things not related to military and military things.
Understand.
Yes. But I I have had dreams, and when he says this, the three of you kind of, it's strange because normally ghosts and wraiths, they're undead, so they don't typically dream, and they're normally evil creatures, and this dude seems to be relatively just kind of neutral, middle of the road, and talking about dreaming. It's like they still managed to hold on to a piece of their humanity from whenever it was that they were alive. Um,
We're very dedicated.
we've all dreamed that the aboleth, it talked to us in dreams a couple of times, but tried to convince us to leave our tower and join it and turn Hatterai over to it, but we refused. It said it was Elixian, but we chose to not believe that. So
I'm not sure whether or not I choose to believe it. I'm ambivalent. No,
good
I don't
word.
know if that's the right. Is that the right word? Could someone tell me? Could that would have a
Is that,
dictionary, and then like she thinks about a
do you
dictionary
feel,
underwater, and it's like, wait
yes,
a second.
Do you mean
we are,
agnostic?
perhaps, we are unsure what to think because we have also had dreams, but I would say from what you are saying that our dreams had a different sort of Elixian in them. He was asking for help and to be released, not to incite any more violence, at least
I
not that
mean,
he's had in
is
our dreams.
Elixion sort of a common name? I mean, is it like Bob and then Bob? There's
But
lots of
no,
them.
So many elixions
there's only
before.
one. I've only ever
There
heard
can
the
be
one.
only one.
I
Um,
mean, it was a long shot, but I had to bring it up.
well,
We had to double check at some
Would
point.
it perhaps be possible to speak to this Hatherai also? Because we are trying to figure out what we can do to help Elixian to put him to rest after all the great deeds that he did.
um, I can see if Hatterai is available. And he steps back
We would appreciate that.
and looks in here, and he makes this weird, like almost a gurgling sound, like he's trying to whistle underwater, but you can't really whistle underwater. And there it goes. And after a minute, you see um, this other wraith come out of the tower. This is Hadorai. Um,
Okay.
this person looks more ghost-like.
Do they
Um,
look more or less sexy?
you tell me.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Mm.
Damn!
It's kind of six of one, half dozen of the other.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You tell me. But they're definitely more ghost-like, kind of like the people that you saw coming out of the tablets, rather than wraithy. So
Okay.
yeah, so they, You look at them, and they are wearing priestly garbs. Not a weapon on them. Nothing that would indicate that they have ever been a person of combat, of battle, of violence. They seem to be wearing strictly peaceful robes and what you would imagine like a cleric or a priest of a religious institution would wear, one that stays primarily in that institution rather than traveling the world. Um,
So Carrie's gonna bow respectfully and say, uh,
they also look like an orc. They're an orc ghost.
"May the blessings of Coralon reward you for your long duty here."
He nods. Thank you. Can I help you with something? I was told you were seeking my wisdom.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through it again.
Absolutely.
I gotta tell them they're dead. God, this sucks. But I
he
guess.
he kind of, when you tell him that they're all dead, he says,
Mhm.
"Well, I always knew that the Archheart had a plan for me and for us, and if it was to prolong here after our swift demise, then who am I to question?"
I will also mention, that the temple is cleansed.
You see that they stand a little bit straighter. Their translucency becomes almost a transparency, and like the ghosts before, they seem to be in the process of now passing on. They have not completed it yet, but they have begun that process now, and there's a limited time, and now that the business that they were here for or remained for is now completed, you see this is them starting to pass on.
Yes. I believe that you will very shortly be in the light of Coralon. I wonder if before you go, you might be able to give us some wisdom about the aboleth claiming to be Elixian.
I I don't believe it is Elixian, as I have seen Elixian with my own eyes, and it was not that. I believe it is like many other creatures of this drowned city, corrupted by whatever leaked through from below, and gestures over towards the portal into the Netherdeep. Um, you have seen the fish and the sharks and the other things which have been corrupted. I believe that the Archheart protected us here in this tower, even though we are dead, protected us from corruption, but did not grant the same blessings to the other creatures of the city.
Mm,
But it does seem to be intelligent enough to converse and to play mind games and to be able to insert itself into dreams and into your thoughts against your will. So guard your minds as best you can.
we will do our best. We hoped to neutralize it somehow so that we can perhaps help Elixian himself.
Do you have advice to how to guard our minds?
Um, he is gonna roll. Hey man, he does not have great stats. He's just a dude. He's just a ghost dude.
He's just a guy.
Actually, no, it's gonna be wisdom, not intelligence. 18. Right. Honestly, if you are able to resist its charm, then that would be like the swan song of the siren. If you can resist its charm, its mental charm, then you should be fine. But as in all things, if you approach with peace and openness and willingness to converse, and not violence as your first step, you will likely have greater success.
That is excellent advice. Is the Wraith Commander still standing there?
Yes, he's standing and he's just listening very actively.
So I'll bow again to Hidare, and then I will look to the warrior and say, do beg your pardon for my attempt at deception. We are just very unsure of ourselves here and attempting to tread with caution.
We're just really like, you know, not
Bumblers. That's what we are.
We don't know what's going on. We're
He
just going along with
he
it.
nods. It's okay. You did not strike first. You came in with, although deception was not always welcome, you did not present a facade of violence, and for that I appreciate, because when I tell you we outnumber you more than 2 to 1, I am not exaggerating. And he kind of points inside, and as you guys all kind of lean in, you see that there are in fact 8 skeletal warriors,
I was
himself
really
and
hoping it would
Hatterai
be
in
like
there.
50 and
Yeah.
that he would just be really bad at math, but like,
And as he kind of points in, you see the flash, and Hatterai disappears and
Oh.
passes on. And as Hatterai passes on, you see now Beltreath starts to glow, as if the mission to keep Hatterai safe. And you see a bright glowing coming from inside of the tower now.
I don't suppose you want to deal with an obelisk.
Before you go, Mister, do you by chance have a ruidium weapon in that tower?
Oh, yeah, I forgot that was one of our main goals going in
Yeah.
here.
That's a way
No.
better
Before you
question.
disappear.
As you say weapon, he says, while we have nothing in this tower, he
Our princess lies in another tower.
does. He points this way and says,
Ooh.
another tower where we were also guarding before it was destroyed. We did have a hidden armory. Um, the tower is completely collapsed, but if you can find the armory, there may be items in there you would like. But beware of the forest over here, as while there are treasures there, there's also creatures there which are evil.
Mm.
Is there any way you can give us an idea of where the hidden armory might sort of be located?
If you can find a hidden door in the floor, there's a ladder that goes further down. You may have to dig to find the door under the rubble.
Very good.
And as he says that, he and the tower, you see this bright flash of light, and they're gone.
Ooh,
And your
wow.
skeleton just comes crumbling out, like not crumbling, but like creaking
Yeah.
out. His joints are very lubricated from the seawater,
hmm
so
It's moving well, man.
It's being held together with coral and
you guys
moss.
you guys know that while you're up here, I'll do this so you can actually see what he was pointing at. So I'll put you all over here so I can just direct you to what he was pointing to. Woo. He was pointing to over here, this circle that you can see right here, and all the stone kind of around it. That's
Okay.
yeah, that is a collapsed guard tower and some collapsed ruins. So
You know, he said.
you can
You
see
know-
across the way, the toppled ruins of a palace are strewn across the floor with yellow-green kelp sprouting from the cracks between heaps of the crumbled stone, and corroded silver and bronze spires lie bent and broken as schools of iridescent fish swim between them. Like you can see the fish that you have seen before.
I was
way
gonna
off
say,
in
were these the
distance.
same fish fuckers? But
Yeah,
you've already
they
started
are.
taking that
Yep,
question,
they
so.
are larger fish, and I'll actually show you what these ones look like because these aren't small. This is the first time you've seen these ones, but you can see them from where you are, and this is what they look like.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Oh.
that's a.
Mm.
Do they have like ruidium spines?
A lot of the things here seem to have some sort of modification based on being close to Netherdeep, and I'll show you how big they are compared to you guys. They are that big. So, M16. They all have guns.
Wait,
No, they don't.
where is it?
Where
They're
is it? I don't.
up here.
Oh. Okay.
That's quadruple the size.
Yeah, they are all large, but they look like giant eel sharks with rows of teeth and spikes. So, and they just are swimming around in between the ruins, not seeming to pay attention to you guys that are kind of just swimming around like this is their home environment, like they live up there.
Has Carrie ever, everything's like mutated and corrupted. Is it possible to look at that and say, oh yeah, that used to be a giant eel or something?
That would be a safe assumption that it was something similar. It might not
Okay.
have been a giant eel per se, but it looks like it could have been at some point, and like it had been mutated by the stuff leaking out of the rift to the Netherdeep. Seemed to be corrupted by the same thing as the sorrowfish and the giant shark that you've seen,
Yeah.
things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so you guys can see this is the outer rim of what you know to be the rift of the Netherdeep. This is the collapsed guard tower. This is a thick forest of kelp that he said there are treasures, but also some dangerous things living in. And then you can see the ruins there.
I sort of want to explore the kelp forest, but like,
I mean,
know that's
honestly,
not
they
a
all
priority.
they all sound kind of cool. I gotta say,
They
all the
do.
options.
There's like places to explore here, man.
I would love to be equipped with the items that we need before we
Oh, I guess that's
go out into the
valid.
weeds, so to speak.
But like, aren't we gonna once we do what we need to do? Don't you think we're gonna be like, well, we've done what we need to do, and we don't need to do other thing? You know, we might be like, well, we're done
True.
now. Just like remember that time when we said we would go back to go try the death door, and then we didn't because we did the thing we needed to do, and we had to teleport out of there.
In my experience, that happens a lot, Carrie.
Well, you guys are here, and you guys can all breathe underwater as long as you're within 30 feet of Ono, and Pal can breathe underwater
know,
anyway.
It's like,
Well,
We also have
and I
water
also
breathing already.
have
Yeah.
water.
There you go, that too. Yeah.
it's just over there.
I didn't think Carrie was the official party buzzkill. I gotta say, like, this is surprising to me, but also she is also the official party mom. So like,
There's nothing. You can go to all of the places. Just which way do you want to go first?
But it's like, when we get all of the ruidium and the keys, are we gonna go back to all the places? That's the point.
Well, the kelp forest is directly next to the rift that we need to go to.
You
so
do know, if you remember, that you
perhaps-
were asked to return back to Jamil
Yeah.
once you've worked out with the aboleth whether you're going to kill it or not to let them know.
Yeah.
So you
Have
know you
we
at least have
worked
to go
that
back
out?
one time. Nope, you haven't even encountered the
Which,
aboleth yet.
by the way,
yeah,
it doesn't really matter if the aboleth is like, Elixion or not, right? I think like if the aboleth really believes itself to be Elixion, then
I feel like no matter what, if we meet an aboleth, we're gonna try and kill it. And I'm
it
sorry.
needs to be
You think so?
neutralized one way or another. But we did just get rather good advice, I feel.
maybe try to talk to it first,
Approaching first with peacefulness and non-violence.
and then stab it in the back when it's
If it comes to it, yes. But to think of what, as they said, what would have happened if we had come in here.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would love to have everything that we need to descend through the rift before we go back. But yes, we do need to speak to Jamil first. Or
Okay. So
sure
where are
you
you going
want
first?
to.
The kelp forest or the destroyed tower with the armory underneath?
armory sounds really good to me,
Okay.
personally.
You guys can actually
Is that
just
okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can actually just swim down. You don't have to follow the path all the way down. If you want to, since you guys have water breathing and swimming stuff now, you can basically just hop
like
your
a
way down.
Lift down
down
here.
It's just a
My
cliff.
skeleton
Yeah,
is dog paddling
he
behind.
is dog paddling.
Can I see the
Um,
bottom?
So
Not a
this
very
is
good swimmer.
basically from where you guys were to down. It's basically just 50 feet down. You're just swimming
Oh,
further down. Yeah,
so it's not
that's
like
just
some
no. It's the cliffs.
intricate cave system or
Nope,
something.
it's just the
that we
cliffs
can-
to get up there. Yeah, you guys just swam further
Okay.
down.
Cool.
All of you roll me investigation or perception checks because you have an idea of what to look for as you're digging through the rocks.
Dig, 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 dig,
And you
dig,
can roll
dig,
for
dig,
skeleton
dig,
too if you
whole
want
way
skeleton to
through.
help.
He has no eyes.
Can I give? Wait, I don't actually know if any of us are good at investigation, but can I give someone else advantage instead of rolling, or
Sure.
are we all garbage at it now?
I will I would like to roll again.
Go for it. You have plus 8
That should have
perception.
done better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. You do.
20. Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. As you find the trapdoor and you swing it open, and as you swing it open, this burst of radiant light flares out of the chamber,
Ah,
and you kind of guard your eyes, and it washes over you in this very warm, almost boiling sensation, and you feel this strange sense of comfort, all of you, in the back of your heads, similar to what it felt like when you were in the Temple of the Archheart. Like you have garnered the Coralon's protection from this trap, and you avoided having to make a con save and take 6d10 radiant damage.
alrighty.
Right. So with that, you guys,
Thanks, Coralon, bro.
you find this. You open the trapdoor, and beneath it, you see this black wrought iron ladder that you guys can swim and climb down. And as you get down there, all of you, this is a full-on armory, 40 feet by 40 feet. It looks like whatever tower was on top of here before it collapsed, it probably housed many more than the 10 wraiths that you saw. There was likely maybe 30 or 40 soldiers that likely lived here. You see the walls of the armory are festooned with long swords, short swords, spears, longbows, short bows, arrows and leather quivers, and steel shields, all of which are corroded or rotted beyond usefulness. But as you look through them, there is one sword and one shield that seems to have both withstood the test of time. As
Got moon
you
shit on them.
Hmm.
Do they got moon shit on them?
They don't have moon shit, but
Shield.
you do see there is a long sword, which the hilt looks like the head of almost like a saber-toothed tiger, with a golden teeth, purple gems around its ears, a blue and gold wrought hilt. The sword looks like that. And as you kind of put your hand close to it, you feel this cold energy just kind of emanating from it. And the blade itself looks like it's made of ice.
That's so cool.
And it is a
Does it make
frostbrand
the
longsword.
water look like cool and icy around it?
It does a little bit, yes.
Nice.
And then the shield, as you look at it, it's almost got eyes on it, like the eyes are watching. You feel like this thing is it's giving you the creeps. It's got like the eyes themselves aren't moving, but they're kind of engraved into the shield. And as you look at it a little bit, as you kind of touch it, and you touch this symbol of an eye, you get this weird flash of moving a little bit quicker and being a little bit more perceptive. And this is a sentinel shield.
It's one of those guys.
Yep, I have one of those on my palette.
So you guys find a frostbrand longsword and a sentinel shield. So
I'm gonna look at the shield and Pell and like compare shields that we got.
it can be made from wood or metal, so any of you can technically use it.
Yeah.
Oh. I guess I'm gonna look at Pell because Pell has a shield, right?
Yes.
I'm not gonna look at Carrie, but yes, Carrie,
I am proficient in shields, and I can't use a longsword.
There you go.
I mean,
it's not like we're necessarily going to have to use these. It's just like to get us down there, right?
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you. So
These
neither of
won't
these
help
have
us,
neither of these have ruidium in them, but the sentinel shield, other than being a regular shield, you have advantage on initiative and all perception checks all of the time. So.
Yup.
And it increases your passive perception by like 5.
I gotta say, the cold resistance.
No, it's good shit.
The cold shit would be cool,
Hmm.
right? You have resistance to fire damage.
Yeah.
Wait. So
Yep.
like that would be cool, like having more resistance to more damage. Uh, Obviously that is not something I'm gonna use a lot though. So like I don't know if it's like.
And I
I
will.
mean, it's kind of like getting a ring of fire resistance that you're not sure if you're gonna use or not. You know?
And I'll say, because all it says is while you hold the sword, if you don't attune to the sword and you're just holding it in one hand, you can do regular longsword damage, have resistance to fire, but you won't do the extra cold damage because you're not attuned to it. So you would still have the
Right.
resistance,
Yeah.
maybe, unless you have to be attuned for the resistance. But either way,
I feel like that would be a little OP if you needed to not attune. But I will accept
Mhm.
it if you want.
you can also sell it too.
Yeah, there's that
Oh
too.
yeah, no, like we're gonna take both of these things either way.
Well,
Um,
my perception and my initiative are really actually pretty good anyway, so it might be better for, one of you frontline people to have that shield just for,
Up to you guys.
a little bit more alertness.
I'm, given that you have the best perception anyway, like I
Yeah,
don't mind,
yeah.
because like obviously advantage is good for me, and like
Hmm.
I am proficient in it, but like it's better for you to have it because you have overall best bonus.
There you go.
That checks out. That is solid reasoning.
There you go. So it looks like you have yourself a sentinel shield, and you guys have a frostbrand longsword, which I assume you're just putting into your bag of holding.
I will. Oh yeah, no, I mean like I'll put it in my bag of holding, but I think I might put it in like slightly in my backpack instead of my actual bag of like.
Hmm.
I might keep it
So you
slightly
can
more
whip it out
potentially
if you
ready.
need to.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
considering keeping it.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Absolutely. Well, if you decide you want to keep it, that's more than fair. And if you want to sell it, we can roll up some prices. But you have the shield that you can equip to yourself there, Carrie. And if you want to add the frostbrand longsword to your
Are you guys
inventory,
sure? I mean, because spreading some perception around is not necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, I don't want it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And you guys going before me is actually better, I would argue.
I mean, yeah, like I've stopped using a shield all the time, but I could again. So
I mean,
like,
I'll take it because I do think,
it's not attunement, so at any point,
yeah,
if you guys want to switch it
oh
mid-combat,
great,
you can always just flip it to each other. It would
just
just
toss
take it
it.
would just take
cool.
an action to
Just a
throw it to
frisbee.
someone. Yeah.
Just
You
I
can
throw
am
it
Captain
over.
so
Yeah, you
America
can
ready for
captain. You
frisbee.
can captain. You can
Okay.
Captain America it. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
All
pretty
right.
sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that one doesn't
That's
require
good.
attunement, so you can just literally, as long as you can equip a shield, it'll just like
Got
if
it.
you were to throw it as an action, it would take an action to catch and equip. That's all. So,
Okay.
because it's not an attunement. Now you can't be like ripping off armor and throwing armor. That's a thing.
Right.
It'd be funny, but no.
Yeah.
But yes, that's what you find down here. And you imagine this was in fact the armory that Beltreath was telling you about, and he may or may not have even known these items were down there. But you guys are able to get through the armory and swim back up into the collapsed tower. And I'll put you out here just so you can see everything a little bit better. So you have the collapsed tower and the ruins to the north of you. You have the area outside of the Netherdeep to the direct west of you, and you have this kelp forest, which Beltreath said that there was strong treasure in there, but also strong enemies in the kelp forest,
Dude.
and to be careful.
I want the
Dude,
strong
I
enemy.
mean, we gotta go to the kelp forest.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
We gotta
All
go.
right.
Kelp.
All right. All right.
I need somebody. Kelp. Somebody.
So as you guys approach the kelp forest, once a lush garden, this area is now filled with strands of kelp that rise to a height of about 30 feet. Small shrines built of pale stone stand among the growth. Their surfaces are carved with images of the face of Coralon, serene and benevolent. As you guys approach, we'll say you're like right here. Make for me perception checks, please. Because you had a shield
Okay.
before. Oh no, you started with one.
And so I have advantage now.
You do have advantage.
No, I knew I
Yeah.
started one. I just meant like why I'm gonna inevitably at some point be like, why do I have 2 shields?
Yeah,
Inevitably, I'm gonna question it.
yeah.
Fair.
And then
fair,
we're
fair.
gonna remember this conversation and we're gonna be like, you said you would question it. And I'll be like, I
Well,
did.
I tell you what, I'm putting in my notes that I gave it to you, but I'm also just going to leave it in my inventory unequipped, just so that I go, why do I have 2 shields? And then hopefully we'll get there.
We'll figure it out.
With
Mhm.
your newly acquired stronger perception, Carrie, you feel a disturbance in the forest.
Whoa.
See what I did there?
We do.
You know
You
how
couldn't
long
tell
I've
from the
waited to
noise
make
we
that
made?
joke?
There's
Oh,
no way
man.
you've not been plotting that joke.
No, every time I think of forest, I've just been waiting for a time to use a joke like that.
A
Not just for the kelp
disturbance
forest,
in
just
the
like in
forest.
forest in general.
You've been waiting the entire campaign.
that
You saw the
joke.
kelp forest and was like, I need to do this.
You see them swimming, they're kind of floating in between the kelp forest. Let me see if I can find the art for it real quick. Yes. So you see this with these things swimming in it. And as you kind of see them swimming, this is
Ooh.
actually what they look like. That. And there's 2 of
Oh
them.
fuck.
Dude, these things are cool.
Yes, there are 2 of them. They are tentacled, slimy looking creatures. And because they don't see you, you guys all have a surprise round, meaning you can do an action. You can
Oh,
move and use an action. You can't do like. So you can basically move in and get 1 attack. You can't do things like action surge or anything like that. But if you want to either move in and rage, or move in and attack, or cast a spell, you guys all have basically 1 action you can take during your surprise round, and the skeleton also gets part of the attack round, a surprise round. So
Mhm.
go ahead and do that, and then after that, we will go ahead and roll initiative on these boys.
Do we know anything at all about how aboleths reproduce?
No, they look like
Tell us about the sex lives of aboleths, at
they
least,
look like
please.
squids.
Uh-huh.
So you know.
So you know,
Because I'm just
everyone
thinking,
knows how.
we're supposed to go in with non-violence, but what if we
Well,
kill the babies? That seems like
are these
not a good
aboleth
start.
babies?
And
Huh?
I was gonna say those
Are
did
these
not look like
aboleth
cute
babies?
babies.
They
Oh,
look
they're spawn.
like spawn. They look like corrupted humanoids of spawned
Wait, do
aboleths.
they
So.
have weapons
Do.
in the picture?
They do have weapons. They have spears, and you would imagine that since they can swim with their tentacles, that they likely can utilize the tentacles as weapons too.
Well, I'm just gonna. Mm.
But yeah,
Okay.
so you
Let's
can
see.
hold an
What
action if you
if?
want. You don't have to do anything, but you do have a quick surprise round.
Do they?
What if?
If
Sorry,
we
go ahead.
if we don't do anything right now, will they like see us in
Yes.
6 seconds?
Yes,
or...
they will.
Okay, so we
And
gotta do something.
What if? Can I do a just real quick perception check to see if I can see any weapons on the ground or anything?
I mean,
With that 20, you see the only weapons that are being utilized right now are the you don't see them. You see like glints of metal
Uh-huh.
in different portions of the forest, of the
Uh-huh.
kelp forest, but you can't make out what it is. You see like glints of reflective metals. So,
Okay,
and you see them carrying stuff. So,
Plan A proposal. I cast Pass Without Trace, and we sneak through the kelp and see if we can just pick up weapons and then bug out without them noticing.
I think that if we're doing a sneak, it should just be me and I go invisible.
Oh, right. I forgot you could do that. Well, do you want to try that? And then if something goes wrong, we charge in after you.
also remember, you and Pell are also both emitting bright light. So
Oh
shit!
shit!
Right?
yeah, you guys are both
Yeah,
emitting bright
okay.
light, so they're going to
God
see
damn
you.
it.
As they're
going to see you.
discussing this, I'm drawing my sword ready to attack for when shit goes down.
Just to remind
God
you of how
fucking
how
damn
it's
it.
looking.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to like the
You're
fact
right.
that these. Okay. I.
I'm so scared.
What do we do?
I don't know.
I mean, as
There
expected,
goes
I'm
our
ready to go in
surprise
and fight. But like, if
Uh,
you guys don't want to go in smashing, we need to have a plan. Cause
I know.
I'm gonna give you a
I know
countdown
that
of
we're gonna.
5. You gotta tell me what you're doing.
Okay.
5,
People,
4,
do we talk to these
3,
people? Do we kill them? Do we
2,
sneak?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna swim
1.
forward.
All
You
right,
guys
swim
stay back.
forward.
I'm gonna go invisible.
Okay.
I have my sword drawn, and I guess I'm going behind Carrie
All right.
or next to Carrie.
All right. Put yourself where you want to be, Carrie.
stupid. Okay, I can't.
Or are you stuck between like light and stuff? Do you want to be like right
yeah,
here?
I am. That would be great.
Okay.
Sure. I
Come on.
still can't. There they are. Okay. I'm gonna swim forward and say, this is so stupid.
While she's
Greetings.
swimming forward, I want to look for shit. Is
Yeah.
my goal. For
Yes,
the record.
this is a distraction. This is 100% a
Yeah.
distraction.
All right. You roll me a investigation check.
Guidance on.
You can't
Oh
see
no, for
her.
finding stuff.
I guess you could do it a minute ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
Before
if
she went
that's
invisible.
alright.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So
Yeah,
give me an
okay.
investigation check with a D4. You're invisible, so they hear a little bit of clanging, but you know they don't know where it's coming from because they're in a cup. All right,
It
give
could
me.
be us. You
True.
know.
Could be.
So I'm gonna
That
go.
is almost as good as I could have possibly rolled, guys.
You find a horde. As you get to about
Horde,
here,
horde,
and you find a
horde,
small horde.
So I'm gonna go. Greetings, children of Elixir.
As you say greetings, children of Elixion, they both just like tentacled squid just spin around. And you see what look like the weird gill things on their face? Those things start vibrating, almost like lips just like kind of flapping. And you hear this weird guttural, deep kind of sounds that come out, and you feel it deep in your gut, deep in your bowels. Does anybody
Ooh.
speak deep speech?
Oh, I do.
Nope.
What? Hell
I
yeah.
do.
You speak deep speech. Oh no.
I do. Just random.
So the horde, without looking what you can take, roll
Like
me.
I don't care what I get. I just want to get like as just shove.
Roll me a
And I will
roll me a
assess later.
D4, and I will tell you what you grab. A 1.
Oh no.
No, that's fine. There were 4 options of the things in the horde.
Oh.
The first thing that you grab, the shiniest thing that you grab, is a pouch which is kind of open, and you don't have time to open it. Have time
do
to
not.
investigate it more.
Throws a
But
bag.
as you grab it and throw it in the bag, you see a couple of gold coins float out of it, and you smack those into the bag too. So it's a bag of money.
Okay.
The deep speech aboleth, as he 1 bag of money, as you call them children of Elixion, in deep speech, he says, Elixion is a fraud. We are not children of Elixion. We are spawns of Aboleth. We protect this forest with our lives. Leave or die. And they both draw spears.
Okay, I say, I beg your pardon, and I start backing up. I beg your pardon. I had just heard that there was Elixion Diaboleth down here. I'm glad to be corrected. Thank you. Back.
I don't know how many times I can continue to just like grab
you
without
can
looking.
You can keep grabbing.
Like I would like this entire time I am grabbing. That's basically as like I don't know how much I can get while Carrie is talking. But,
all right,
I don't
happen to know?
I'm
Do you
just
happen
grabbing.
to know where the great pretender Elixion Aboleth happens to be at the moment?
They swim closer to you, spears drawn. And
I'm still backing
Whoa,
up.
whoa, 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 whoa! What's going on here?
Pell understands nothing except this weird deep gurgling, and you feel like you have Pell, you feel like you have to poop because the vocal patterns are hitting you in the vowels, so you're getting the urge to have to just drop one, but you pull
So
it closer.
I'm mom arm Pell. I'm
Um,
mom arming
so
Pell.
you grab a I'll say in this order. Oh no, as they're kind of doing this, you can grab stuff very quickly. You grab a shield, a sword, and something that's shining on the garments of a water-bloated human corpse. You grab a brooch off of it and you throw in your bag, and you also on that same um, garment that you ripped off this body because it was pretty much tatters and falling off anyway. There's also you recognize it as the same type of badge that you guys have as the Allegiance of Allsight, kind of that what's let you down here. This seems to be a remains of one of their explorers, as the thing you grabbed. The brooch fell off into the bag as you were throwing the clothing in there, but the badge of the Allsight Explorer kind of went in there with it. So you have a shield, a sword, a brooch, a bag of money, and garments with a Allegiance of Allsight pin on them. So
Is that basically all I can grab?
yes, that's all that you can grab.
That's a
Okay.
lot.
No, that's fine. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying that I want
Yes.
more. I'm just confirming before I leave that I didn't like accidentally. Sometimes you gotta click on it just one more time
Yeah.
in the game to get all the last thing off of it. But yes. So once I've assessed that I have gotten everything, I would like to try to sneakily swim out.
Okay. Yeah, you can swim around them. And to answer your question, Carrie, when you asked them where the pretender was, the one that spoke to you before, says, guarding the door, believing somebody is going to enter or exit. He claims it's his home.
We appreciate the information.
Leave and
Very
never
much.
return to our forest.
Indeed, yes. And I'm just like pushing Belle backwards in the water as I'm backing up. And just really, really hoping that Ono found something.
You have no clue.
But yeah,
No idea.
they see that you guys are pushing away, and they kind of swim back deep into the forest, and they go up to one of those pillars, and they kind of each sit on top of one, and they look at you from afar, and you can see if you can look at that first picture a little bit closer, the art that I shared, you see the like there's mushrooms attached to them, and they have like red tendrils coming from the mushrooms, and the mushrooms and their bodies look like they're also infected with ruidium, and that it's altering them in some way that has given them additional abilities to communicate. You've never seen these things before, so you don't know if this is how abnormal this is, but the red tendrils and veins look very much like the corruption of the temple of the Archheart. So you know they have been affected in some way, and they swim back off and land on the pillars in their temple of the Archheart, which is all destroyed and it's not really able to do anything. It's just a historical monument for them now. So
So I'm gonna wait until we're like far enough away from.
okay. Where do you guys want to head back to as you're swimming? Do you want to go down?
Was there another place we wanted to check out?
I will tell you have investigated all the
Wasn't
places.
there?
We've investigated all the places.
Except for the main entrance into the Netherdeep and what they now believe is to be the entrance to where the Aboleth is hanging out.
So right now all I care about is following wherever they're going. So I was gonna say that I go in a direction and then I realized that I'm following them. So
Okay.
where are you guys going? Because I don't want to.
Can we retcon just a smidge
Sure.
and say that if everything goes well, if we don't have to pop off, then let's make our way. Somebody do it.
Downtown.
Oh, like you're saying that we made a plan that if we didn't have to fight, we went back to.
Somebody needs to sing "Making Our Way," but
Make it away.
so that thank you. So that like we're just heading back to like the corridors.
Okay. So back to the collapse tower that you were at before. Or
yeah.
Okay. Cool. So.
Or no, I mean back to like starting to go back to.
Okay. So like down this way basically.
Yeah. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
And you guys can see.
So when we get like far enough away that I don't feel like the things can overhear us, I'm gonna like swim up to, I guess, like between them, but like probably slightly closer to Carrie, and I'm gonna like be like, I found some cool shit. We're 100% sure we don't want to go kill those guys.
You hear
Actually, I don't know if any of this
disembodied,
shit is cool. I didn't really look at
disembodied
it.
oh no voice.
Yeah. Why don't we go back and report to Jamil and see what we got, and then if we feel the need when we come back, because we will be coming back. I can tell you that.
But are we gonna be coming back to fight the big guy? And we don't want to like have any. Do we want to? Like, I'm feeling pretty spicy right now, but I don't need to, you know.
I mean, hey, we might need to kill them on our way here next time when we want to get in. It's pretty.
And you know
close
he
to the
doesn't want to see you
entrance.
again until you guys have dealt with the aboleth. But you have 3 days. So if
Wait,
you,
what?
Jamil
I
said
thought he wanted us to come back and
no.
tell him what we were gonna do.
No, he wants you to deal with the aboleth.
Oh,
That was the point of the quest, to either kill it
I'm sorry.
either kill it or convince it to let you pass, and you have 3 days to complete it.
Oh, okay. I
But if you
misunderstood what
guys
were-
wanted
I
to go back into like
misunderstood.
the temple and check out what you got, because the temple is still an air dry area.
Okay.
If you wanted to
No,
go
I
there,
totally misunderstood
no,
what you were saying earlier.
No, you are
Okay.
good. If you guys
Fine.
wanted to go check out
Okay.
the items, you can do that. You can hang out in the
Yeah,
water. You can do
let's
whatever
do that.
you want.
Well,
Okay.
the spears that the aboleth spawns had, they weren't ruidium, were they?
No, they were just regular spears.
Okay.
So, yep, they were just standard old
Yeah,
spears that
let's
they
just-
could poke you with.
Let us just withdraw a bit and see, take stock of what we have, and then have a little bit more time to make perhaps a more coherent plan.
All right. So, as you guys make it into the dry part of the church and kind of get to hang out, warm up for a little bit, you guys count this bag of money. There is 156 gold pieces in the bag of money.
Mm-hmm.
There are the let me see if there are pictures, because there might be. Oh yeah, there is. This is what the shield looks like.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, that's sort of cool.
It is a. You see the tendrils of ruidium extend across the metal
Yeah.
surface of the shield, and it's both. It can be metal or wood because it looks like wood.
Mhm.
So you see, it is a ruidium shield, and as you look at it a little bit, this shield does a little bit different things. This,
Oh.
like the other ruidium infused items, this gives you resistance to psychic damage. You can
Oh.
breathe water, and you gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. And it also has an ability called Psychic Reflection. When you take psychic damage while holding the shield, you can use your reaction to choose another creature you can see within 30 feet, and the creature takes that psychic damage that you would have taken instead of you. And it's a regular shield as well, and has all the ruidium properties. You also find the short sword, which is also deeming with ruidium to be a
Right.
ruidium short sword, which gives
Okay.
you the ruidium strike. It's basically the same as the long sword. You get to
Yep.
breathe water, swimming speed, walking speed, and you get 2d6 extra damage on an attack. And if you roll a 1, you have to make a charisma save or get ruidium exhaustion. And then as you pull out this brooch, it's get out of here, stupid alert on my computer. It looks like this metallic brooch. And as you look at it a little bit more, Carrie, you've seen this before in a book. You've never had one, but you've seen it and you've read about it. It is a brooch of shielding that gives you resistance to force damage and gives you immunity to magic missile. So, but yes,
Mention that.
you now have effectively 2 keys. You found 2 additional keys to get into the Netherdeep, one being the shield, one being the short sword, and then a brooch of shielding, and then a bag with 156 gold pieces.
Sorry. What does the wait? No, we don't actually know what the bridge of shielding does. It's just
Oh.
Carrie's read the book about it.
Yes, and she can tell you. It does that.
Yeah, it does
Okay.
that.
It does that. But yeah, so you have a ruidium short sword, a ruidium shield, a brooch of shielding, and 156 gold pieces.
So for the record, I know that I don't actually need more resistance to damages, but force damage is something that I would be more, weak to. But also, just can you imagine the coolness of this brooch holding up my
on
multicolored
your
cloak?
patchwork
Like,
cloak.
I just want that on the record of the aesthetic. And I acknowledge that you can all say the aesthetic is not worth it. Someone who doesn't have resistance to any damage should have this. But I just need that on the record how cool it would look.
It would.
And
It
now
would look
you can now make your stake your better claims on it.
cool. Well,
Go for it,
um,
dude.
Here, I mean, you guys all know that if you roll ones on any ruidium items, you get cursed. You have to pass a DC 20 charisma saves. Well, anyone who has a ruidium item. But now here's what the shield does. So, yes, if you roll a 1 while attacking with anything ruidium, you have to roll a DC 20 charisma save, or you get a ruidium corruption and a level of exhaustion. So, and they're 1 to 1. So, 1 exhaustion is 1 ruidium corruption, and 2 to 2, 3 to 3, all the way down. So.
Would Carrie know if, like, psychic spells, is that usually a test of wisdom, of being able to resist it?
There are sometimes, yes. Sometimes it's wisdom resistance. Otherwise, there are some spells and attacks that just do psychic damage. You would imagine things that are infused with iridium because you've seen it between the jellyfish and the sharks. Things that are corrupted by ruidium, when they attack, they deal additional psychic damage, and you know that too from seeing Pell utilize the longsword, that things with ruidium do additional psychic damage as well, so that shield can deter that. So,
Right.
I'll tell you, those aboleth spawns would have done. They had a ability that did just psychic damage. So
Yeah. Because I was gonna, just for the party, if it was a question of, who's gonna get the most use out of that resistance to psychic. If it's wisdom saves, I'm in fairly good shape there.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got a -1 in wisdom.
Ooh.
I feel like if we're basing, like, I have a +2, so that's, better than nothing. Better than -1.
There you go.
I'm probably gonna stick with my shield though.
Okay. All you have to do, so to get in to the Netherdeep, all you have to do is have a piece of ruidium gear on your person. You don't have to utilize it. You just have to have it on you, like in your own inventory, to get in.
Okay.
So
we have enough to get in.
You do,
now.
because I know, like, if nobody wants to use the shield, you can have it. You obviously can't equip 2 shields, but like, I don't think Carrie is. I don't think you can use short swords. But if somebody else had the shield, and you just had that short sword on
And
your
then I just
person,
have that.
it would let you in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, because you can use shields. We just determined, right?
Yep. All 3 of you can use shields. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just got this fancy cool one, and it would not hurt for you to have some psychic resistance.
And you can always have it on your person. Oh no! And if you decided mid-combat you wanted to drop your weapon and pull out a sword and shield instead, I would just let you do that as a free out, and I'd use some of your action economy to pull them both out, if you wanted to do that. So if you wanted to have that on your person, you can always just grab that. So, but obviously you wouldn't equip it unless you wanted to equip it. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So why don't we do that? You take the shield and I'll take the sword.
I take the shield and you have the short sword?
Yeah.
Okay. But what about Pale? I know Pale already has something to get.
I also have a short sword.
You have the ruidium longsword.
I have a short sword. Should I change it to a long sword?
Yours should be.
I'll take a long sword.
Is it? Yeah, it should be a ruidium longsword. Here, I'll change it in here real quick for you, because that's what it should have been.
Give me
think-
that more damage.
I think I misread it.
Give me that
Premium
damage.
Longsword equipment. Do this. Get this out your face. Delete. Attune. There you go. But yeah, it does the same thing as what you had before. You just do more damage. So there you go. Cool. You're good on that front.
I'm gonna add the Viridium shield to my stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, brooch of shielding. Someone gonna make a better play for it. Besides,
Oh.
I think it looks lit because I feel like there is a better. Someone can have a way better argument than it looks cool.
I say go for it, man. You do.
Again, for someone in the front line who is likely to get pummeled, I'm fine with you having it. I don't care.
It's the ultimate death save protection.
I feel
Listen,
like
Ono and
get-
her bling, Christ almighty.
Oh no, is surprisingly blinged out, and every time something like this happens, I'm just like, God damn it, I need art. I need somebody to make me art of this
Right?
beautiful image I have in my head.
All right. Well, you guys, what's your plan? You heading up to the entrance to see if you can find the aboleth?
do we want to talk to the aboleth, or do we want to just kill it?
Well, I would like to at least attempt to have a word.
I mean, I gotta say, that last attempt to have a word while we did other stuff worked surprisingly well. So, I mean,
All right.
Okay, then.
But I suppose this one is like, if we I guess so. Wait, am I still invisible? Poof. I don't actually know about that.
No,
No,
you know, how long does that last?
I think it lasts
It lasts an hour.
an
You
hour.
should just keep it. Just, it's a good combat thing. Just
Well, I
you
was
can
gonna
just
say,
talk
like,
to us with your disembodied voice. It's fine.
I mean, I'm not terrible at talking to people, but at the same time, I feel like if we think it could potentially go bad partway through, it might be good to have me be invisible
Yes.
and then like ready to spring, kind of
Yes.
as sort of like we wouldn't get a surprise round from ambushing it, but I might get the jump on them. But that's sort of my best strategical plan for this. I kind of feel like we kind of just got to go for it.
What I'm worried about that. He was talking about resisting its charm. I mean, I've got no way of resisting its charm unless
So-
like I just.
So meta. Pepper knows what that means.
Oh yeah, I know what it means. As well.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, would it
But
would
no,
it
would not.
be possible that, with a nature check or something that Carrie kind of knows about, like, if you can resist some creatures, then that's it. They can't try to bug you again for a while.
Yeah.
Do you want a nature check on that?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, you know that there are some creatures and some practitioners of magic that if you can resist certain charms and certain influential capabilities, that you are resistant to them for a time frame.
I attempt to explain that.
Cool. Let's take a quick 5-minute break, or 6 minutes, because we'll be on the 5, because I really have to go to the bathroom. So take a 6-minute
6-minute break, guys.
till quarter till.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
Break.
All right. So, now that we're back, you guys, you're heading to the entrance of where you believe the door to the Netherdeep to be.
Yes.
Okay.
sir.
I think so.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
Wait, is this immediately like did we decide that I'm still invisible? Is that the plan? Did I go invisible again? Because I can do that.
You can
Oh.
be.
How long
You're
did
still.
that take?
You're still invisible. It lasts an hour.
Does
Okay, cool.
anyone need to like long rest, or are we all good?
I think you're all good.
We're
'Cause, I
good.
mean, I have like some features that come back on long rest, but I'm
Well,
okay.
if you need one, no, dude. If we fight an aboleth, you need to be at like full whatever. So if you are not, let's go back
It's
up and take a
not
long
You
rest.
can long rest in here. Nothing
Yeah,
except
because we
Coron
have
people can
3
get in.
days.
Yeah.
We have 3 days.
I mean, we could die like tomorrow if we do. So like,
You want a long rest?
Yeah.
Okay. So your skeleton lasts for 24 hours, so you don't have to recast it the next day until that 24-hour time frame is up. So that'll still be there and still be good.
Oh, can I during our long rest, can I talk can we name the skelly guy? This is the only thing I'm sorry. If he made it past if he makes it to the long rest, I'm getting attached.
All right. What do you want to name him?
He lasts for 24 hours, so he's doing pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if he like responds to me, but like between me and Carrie, I want to find out would they like by yeses and nos, would they prefer like a masculine, feminine, or like a more neutral sounding name? Try to like and like basically just by like waiting until responses, just keep giving options until they give me like, do they want a more like human name or like orc name or like a more like like just
I
try
will
to narrow
humor
it
this.
down.
I will absolutely humor this endeavor
Um.
and serve as the middle woman.
So the skeleton nods when you say masculine name,
Okay.
and then every time you reel off a race, it keeps shaking their head no and no. And this skeleton's like 6 foot tall. It's not a small skeleton. It's a very humanoid shaped skeleton, but keeps shaking his head no to every like normal sized humanoid race that you were listing off. Eventually, you get to goblin, and it vigorously nods its head up and down, and it wants a masculine goblin name.
Wait. Oh my god. Okay, so does the skull look goblin and then it's just like a patchwork
Yeah.
of all these bones that came together? Is that what
Yep.
happens?
Yep. The head's quite small for the rest of the body.
Oh,
Yes.
that's cute.
It's like the opposite of. It's like Big. The movie Big.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yes. It requests.
All
a
right, we're going to
masculine goblin.
fantasy name generator.
yes,
going
we
to
are.
male name
Do it, do it.
goblin.
no.
I do like egg dab for the record.
Egg dab. Well, I mean eggs. You know, eggs. I get it.
Yep.
And dab because he's cool. He's dabbing it.
Dabbing it with eggs.
Remember, you
okay,
don't get
this
your temporary hit points unless you're in wild shape. So remember that.
I don't know exactly how to spell this one, but this is my favorite.
That is because I just took a feat.
Oh. And you get temporary hit points on a feat? Spicy.
My hit point maximum goes up.
Oh.
I just took tough.
Oh. Nice.
Oh, you got tough? Hell yeah.
Well,
super tough.
there you go. 118 hit points as a druid. You are. You have more hit points than your barbarian.
Yeah, but everyone's showing me up on hit points.
That's really funny though.
Nice.
And then just for your other one that you chose, when you click on that metamatic adjunct, that feat part, you just have to click that drop down menu, and then you can choose your options from there.
But
so we're all over
on the
100
sheet
now, guys. Good
job. He does like stubbones.
I really like stubbones because it's also like bones because he's a skeleton.
Were we not feeling the egg dab?
I was feeling egg dab.
I'm also okay with egg dab, for the record. Egg dab was the first one I saw.
He's not mad about either one.
Can his name be Egg Dab Stubbones?
Sure.
Okay, full name, you got it.
Egg dab Stubbones.
And then he nods his head 3 more times because he would like to be the third.
The third. Okay. How are we spelling the second name?
I put it on his token. Hold on, I didn't let you guys see this. Hold on 1 second. Bang.
Stubbones. Okay.
There you go. Egg dab Stubbones the third.
Thank you for humoring. He's going to die.
I'm spelling an egg like full on egg, Alex.
Oh, you want it to be eggy like egg?
I do.
All right. There you go. Egg dab Stubbones the third. All right.
My boy. Ride or die.
Ride or die with egg dab. All right, so you're not invisible anymore because you guys long rested.
Mhm.
So if you want to be invisible, you can.
Long rest.
But yes, you get
Oh,
everything
like
back from long rest. Yeah, it's
I
it.
can always just
Yeah.
re-invisible.
Oh,
I'm
for
not.
sure.
This is not at all worth
Oh yeah, yeah,
not long resting for.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's. I mean, you have so many of those you can just redo them. That's what I'm saying. Like you've long rested
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
so if you want to be invisible, you just gotta do it again. That's all.
yeah.
But yeah.
Are
Wait,
we...
do I get all of my things back on long rest, or do I just... No, I have to.
Nope, you get them all back, and then I
I get
think
them all back.
uh your jewel you might have to roll for, but it says in there.
Okay.
So I can,
Oh, can I make food? I don't know if
yeah, you can make breakfast for sure.
Oh, sweet. Oh,
underwater?
that's right. These
Well, you're in a
points
dry
go
area of the
away.
church, so
We're having a camp out. Alex,
Oh wait,
can
wait. Are there any specific buffs that we would like at this moment that I should be checking for?
is there anything that will give us? We're gonna have to be We're gonna be facing psychic. Trying not to get charmed and shit.
You know, now would
Which
be the time to use some of my potions, or during this fight.
I will go ahead and just ritual re-up our water breathing, just in case our weapons get knocked out of our hands or whatever.
well, you are attuned to all of. Well, you're not attuned to yours, but they're
I'm
attuned to
not.
theirs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. So just to be sure, Alex, I cannot make the pop up
For what?
come up for the metamagic feat thing.
Oh, so if you click
Where do I
on
click?
the features and traits section and then click on
Mhm.
feats and then click on manage feats, if you
Yep.
scroll down, you'll see where it says metamagic
Mhm.
adept, and you got to click on that little drop down arrow that's right beside it.
I don't have a drop down arrow.
You should.
Let me take a screenshot and show you what
Is
I have.
I forget, is the thing we're trying to avoid spell damage? Because I can do something to help us reduce spell damage.
I,
But
I
that
mean, there's
think
probably
so.
gonna be spells, but yeah, it's like I think
I don't think I have anything that helps with wisdom specifically.
okay, that's fine.
Does your
Yeah.
meta magic adept have a blue exclamation point beside it?
Let me see.
In when you click manage feats and scroll down.
No, hang on, I'm showing you.
All right.
I mean, I do have drugs for the record.
Just drug the whole.
If
drug the
we're
whole
already
water.
drugged, you can't hurt us.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, you pick whatever you want to roll, and go ahead and roll that medicine check anyway, and you'll see how many extra temporary hit points you can get, as well as whatever effect you're going to cook, because they're not exclusive of each other; they are together. So.
Oh, it came up with a weird thing.
21. Oh yeah. So where it says that for yours, you.
Do I need to go into the character management instead?
No. So you see at the top of where above Warcaster where it says Manage Feats.
Mhm.
Click on that button, and you see how you get that side option come out.
Mhm.
If you scroll down to Meta Magic Adept, it'll have a blue exclamation point beside it.
Oh, there.
Yep.
Okay.
If you click on that,
Thank you,
it'll
sir.
drop it open for you, and you can pick whatever ones you want.
Thank you.
Yep. So 21, that gives you the what? Is that 1d10 or something plus proficiency? I forget.
I think it's the D10. Yeah, it's a D10.
Okay, so roll a d10 plus proficiency, and that is how many temporary hit points everybody gets. So everyone gets 11 temporary hit points.
Sweet.
And then whatever effects you're going to be building as well, if at all.
Yeah, I mean,
How long is it gonna take us to get to like?
I mean,
the
just
entrance? It's
some
like
protection
right
against
now, right?
spells, just in general, is probably.
It's gonna
yeah.
take
So
you
like, I can
not very long to
we
get there.
can we can have snail pie, which we can like save to eat right before we go in, which gives us a +2 bonus to spell damage for 1d8 plus 2 minutes.
Hey, there you go.
So like, I don't know how useful that's gonna be, but like, it's better than like.
It
Sorry,
helps.
gains. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's like super helpful. It's really only helpful for carry. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
And, like, I could give us advantage on dex saving throws, but I don't know if that's gonna be relevant.
Well, it has tentacles, so it might be to like dodge getting.
That was the other one that I thought like theoretically could be useful. Grants advantage on all dex
Yeah.
check saving throws for 1d4 hours. We could just have some nice coffee. And I swear I have coffee in my list of things
You do.
somewhere. I have that. I
You
have.
do that sand coffee that Carrie
Yeah,
loves.
Black
currently
sand
have 8
coffee.
uses in my notes. Yeah. So like I don't know. I feel like that might be the best, like most generically useful, but
Mhm.
like theoretically, I could give resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage, which obviously is not useful for me, but could be useful for you two. But I don't know what kind of damage we're up against.
I don't know. I think Dex.
We all have
is
swimming
pretty
speed
good.
buffs anyway, right? So I don't need to worry about giving us swimming speed equal to walking
Mhm.
speed. And
Correct.
then the only other thing that could be mildly interesting if we're trying to talk to the thing is the thing that gives the advantage on charisma checks against all upper to middle class members, which like you could argue Elixion is. So
But
like
Hey, I would say yeah if you want to do it that way.
so like we could discuss making some spanferkle, but like I don't know if that's like I don't know if we want to hedge our bets towards
I
hoping the charisma
feel
thing
like
works.
You know what?
okay,
I'll
I'm gonna be
change that
that.
because I think it's very specific. We'll just say instead of giving you advantage on charisma checks against all middle to upper class, it gives you a +3 for 1d4 hours to all charisma checks.
Okay.
Modify,
Ooh,
modify it to that. It's for everyone who eats it.
So like if we want to try to hedge our bets towards trying to talk, that could be worth it. And I don't know if any of the
I
other
don't
like
know.
more defensive things are like actually going to be useful anyway.
I think
Well,
that something defensive would actually be better. To be honest, I mean, I'm gonna try to talk to this thing because that's what Carrie do. But
Guess what
I
Carrie
f-
do? But Pepper is like,
but
let's be
Pepper's
ready to
like,
fight.
we're gonna throw down.
Okay. So I'm gonna make us some nice coffee to go with our nice breakfast,
Mm,
and and make sure that we drink the coffee right before we go. I mean, it's 1d4 hours, but I just don't want to like actively waste
right,
it for too long.
right.
Maybe we'll have like
understandable.
We
iced
have to
coffee.
go cups.
Yeah, we got travel mugs.
All right. So you're having for breakfast the coffee and spanferkle.
Wait. I mean,
No.
can I do both? I didn't really think I could do both
Yeah.
logistically.
There's no limit.
And let's do porque no las dos, guys.
Okay.
We're gonna have ham and coffee for breakfast.
I'm about it.
Okay.
I'm not denying it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta mark off that I used some of my uses. Hey Alex, when I wrote currently have 8 uses, do you think that was like 8 servings?
It's
Probably.
8. It's 8 total like meals worth. So
Like to share or
yeah.
like
So like if you're making, I'm assuming it's like 1 pot of coffee.
yeah.
So it's like 8 pots of coffee. So it's one.
Okay.
So every time you prepare it, so I'm saying 1 preparation is enough for like the meal for the whole group.
Okay. Cool.
So
That's what I wasn't sure what I had
Yeah.
meant.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So you are now giving yourself the +3 to all charisma checks for
Mhm.
1d4 hours.
Mhm.
And then your other one's what? Dex checks? Dex saves?
We have. It says grants advantage to all dex check saving throws for 1d4 hours.
Okay, so both are 1d4 hours, so just roll 2d4, and that'll be the Dex is the first one, the Charisma is the second one. So a 2
Dex.
and a 1. There you go.
Oh.
So you have it.
Well, it's okay.
Yep. So you have advantage on the stuff, and then you have a +3 to all Charisma checks.
And for our coffee, I took a little pinch from my handy spice pouch, and I added just a smidge of like cinnamon to it, just to make it tasty. And that has no
Carrie's
functional use
favorite thing.
whatsoever.
It's Carrie's favorite thing. It's
Yeah.
coffee.
So there's that. Just so I remember what they are, and I don't have to look them up
Yep.
again. There you go. So you made some roasted spanferkle for the morning breakfast, as well as some coffee.
I love that
yourself-
apparently you had a pig in the bag of holding.
I mean,
Like,
I've made
hell-
this before. So
Ono pulls out this fucking pig.
Yeah, man.
Like, what
Why
the
not?
heck?
I
don't know
do
where
have in
you
my
got that,
inventory
but-
3 days worth of pork for the record.
Ah,
So I mean,
God damn, dude.
All right.
What's up with pigs?
So you
I'm-
guys ready?
Alex, Alex,
Hmm.
we can keep going on and not have any of my shenanigans if you would rather. Never mind.
You sure?
I'm not, but
All right. Well, you guys, with Eggab Stubbones the third, and everyone bellies full, you make your way up here.
Make him away.
Okay. I'm going to touch my Medal of Wit from like
Oh
a
shit!
million years ago, and
I
hopefully that'll be helpful.
wait. Do
oh
I? No, I don't have
yeah.
one of those. Do I? Do I have one
You
of
have
those? I have
all the
a bunch of
Oh.
medals, I'm
medals.
pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure I
The
Yeah.
only
in
one that
Odo's
you didn't
sling.
do was the one that Greenie and I did
So it might be.
with the
Yeah.
mowing
So as you guys,
doing their chores for them.
Yeah.
right, pretty
Uh-huh.
much. Um, as you guys approach, you see amid the
Oh,
ruins.
I go invisible, by the way, in
You
case we
are.
forgot. Yeah.
You are invisible. Amid the ruins of a sunken palace is a gaping rift that pulsates with sickly red light. Black energy, swirling with oily colors, shimmers and hisses inside the opening of the rift. And you know what? Just because I think this is cool and you should all see it at this point.
Rainbow.
Glowing spines of ruidium sprout from its edges, forming a jagged, partially intact dome around the space. And you hear and feel these weird, creepy voices trying to push themselves into your head, like before. As you kind of approach, and you get a little bit closer up this ramp, going closer and closer to what you now see as the rift into the Netherdeep. Swimming through the kelp woods and stopping in front is this larger aboleth-looking creature. And as you get closer, it says, "Why are you here? What are you doing? I am Elixion, the protector of the realm. Why are you intruding upon my space?"
I'm gonna step forward just a little bit and say, "We have come to speak to you."
Oh, have you now? About what?
We are curious about what you are doing here.
I'm the protector.
And what are you protecting?
Protecting the Netherdeep. I'm stopping others from entering.
See. And why are you doing this?
I am Elixion, I am the Apotheon, I am divine, and I am invincible. I am beyond mortal ken, and I am protecting my realm.
See. What is it in the Netherdeep that you believe needs protecting?
He looks at you kind of confused for a second.
That's what I want.
The confusion.
The ruidium needs protecting.
Do you feel that you must keep it all, or what is the point of protecting the rubium? I don't know very much about it.
It's what gives me power and allows me to grant power to those that I see fit and keep out those that I don't want. This is what he looks like, by the way.
Yes. Oh, he's cute. That is to say, not at all. So, if I might ask, I am somewhat of a student of history, and I have always seen that Elixian was a human. So, can you explain? And she just gestures vaguely at this aboleth.
I
Oh,
I
oh,
carry
this.
I carry the soul of the Apothian within my body, trapped in this form as divine punishment for failing to save the world during the calamity.
I see.
There are two faces on him.
Uh-huh.
So you see the three eyes is one face right there, and then the right side face, which is kind of, you see the veins of ruidium crisscross the aboleth's body, and that secondary face is emerged from the pale green hide, and the second face seems to be mutated compared to that first one.
Does it look anything like the person that we've been seeing in our dreams at all? Even a little bit.
You see that that most far right eyeball that looks kind of angular? That looks like one of the eyes.
Oh man, I hate this.
Interesting.
How?
But
how
then
did
again,
this...
lots of things have similar eyes. So
Yeah. How did this? You said his soul is trapped within you.
yes.
How did this occur? That is a mighty working of magic.
The gods that imprisoned me, they gave me the power to make me the Apothian. When I failed them, they imprisoned me in this form, in this body.
Those gods being the Changebringer,
That's one.
Coralon.
Yes.
I can't remember the third one, you guys.
Oh shit! I should know. It's in the the Moonweaver, the Changebringer, Archheart, right? No, maybe.
I think you got a third one in there. Moonweaver. Right?
It's on.
What's the one
Moonweaver.
that I was
I was
missing?
gonna say, it's on your.
It's my jewel thing.
It's in your jewels. Yep.
Sahanine, the Moonweaver.
Yeah.
The Moonweaver, the Changebringer, and the Archheart.
Okay, and I say Ansehani.
And you see that, all of his eyes at one time almost flash what you know to be disgust at the speaking of their names. What can I do for you?
We are here ridding this realm of corruption. We have, in fact, cleansed the temple of Coralon. And perhaps it is time that you should give over your guardianship of Elixian.
Roll a persuasion check. I will tell you, because it has been mentioned, that utilizing the items related to his past may assist you. So the jewel could be helpful in this
Okay.
conversation if
Okay.
Ono decides to not be invisible.
Okay.
But it's up to you. I will tell you the persuasion check is very high.
I feel like we would have if we'd remembered that, we might have
Can I-
discussed that as an option.
Can I ask her something before, like, she rolls and then, like, we die right away?
Sure. What you want to know?
Mr. Elixion,
Hmm.
have you been sending us visions in our dreams? Do you know anything about visions and dreams? Because we've been getting some messages.
He looks, all 5.5 eyes look at you with this inquisitive, curious but confused look when you mention visions in your dreams. I don't have that capability. I do, however, have the capability to persuade you one way or the other when entering my realm. And he kind of flashes his tail around, like encompassing, like when you use your arms to say everything around me. And from that, you gather that he was likely the one sending you the messages earlier that you heard when you came down here.
But not necessarily the visions that we had
Correct.
before.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Okay.
He doesn't seem to know what you're talking about when you mention visions.
Okay.
I would love to use the jewel. And I do think maybe we would have,
If we'd remembered that, we probably would have discussed that as a... So, I mean, I'm not against having me been invisible up to this point and looking around.
Okay.
To not retcon that. But,
And I'll say if you want to no longer be invisible, you would be able to provide advantage to whoever's doing the check by having it pulled out.
Then, if I see that, this conversation isn't going as badly as it could have. It's not going great, but, it's not going as badly as it could have. So if I see that it's not immediately going terribly and we would have had this retcon discussion of using it, then I would swim back and, not taking it off, but I would be like, hey, look, it's a thing.
And as you pull it out, he kind of reels back for a second, and go ahead, and now you can roll me a persuasion check at advantage. I will tell you, it dropped the DC by 10.
Oh,
Holy,
shit.
what the fuck?
Am I the... do I have the best persuasion, y'all? I mean, I know I've been doing the talking, but...
I mean, I have a +5. But
You got a plus...
What the fuck am I doing talking then, Pell? Oh my god.
I mean, Pell was a part of it.
I asked a question.
Whoever wants to can roll it at advantage.
Pell, roll, my god. Guidance.
And,
Guidance.
And so you have advantage and guidance. The DC doesn't matter. I will tell you before. So you would have added 3. Roll guidance, because I just want to see.
That's a D4?
Mm-hmm. So you would have got a total of 30 off of that alone from your +3 from the, it would have been 31 actually from the meal.
But I have...
31.
31 total from the breakfast stuff. So the base DC before the advantage was 25. It went to 15 after the fact. So...
Okay, I'm glad we had a little putting our heads together on that. Why aren't you doing all the talking, Pell? You're the face.
My bad.
He swims around and he just kind of sits there for a second, and he looks much less irritated. What can I help you with? I believe, as you kind of look at him a little further, watch it a little bit more. What do you need? How can I assist you? You don't seem to be of risk to me or my well-being.
He's saying weak? What the?
I mean, fair, but rude. My goddess, I feel, might think that it is time for Alexian's punishment to be over. He has suffered for a very long time, and he did try very hard. Don't you think, pal?
I mean, hold on. I'm getting some ideas here right now. Mr. Elixion, is it okay if I talk to my partners here confidentially? Or would you just be able to hear it and get into our minds anyways if I go somewhere else?
If I'm being honest with you, he's been talking to you mentally, telepathically, because he cannot speak common, so this has all been telepathically. So,
okay.
I'm already in your head.
Okay, well, here's my ideas. It's okay if you listen to it. We've been getting these visions in our dreams to release you, right? But you're saying you weren't the one sending that. that. So now I'm thinking maybe there's some third party here that's like manipulating us into doing something that we don't want to do here.
You might have been getting messages from my spirit or my body.
Okay.
By your spirit, you mean the spirit that you have absorbed? Elixion himself?
No.
Ah.
I fully believe I have the soul of the Apotheon within this body and its being as a divine punishment. But my physical body and my spirit, my emotional spirit, that is what I'm protecting. It is further into the Netherdeep. The gods split me into multiple forms. My soul or my intelligence was ripped from me seemingly, for the most part, and placed in this body, whereas my emotional spirits and capabilities and physical body were separated and buried further down.
Interesting.
And that is likely what was calling to you, the raw emotion of my existence.
If you think
If
that
you wish,
if you think that the raw emotions of your spirits were calling to us,
I am not currently connected with them, but yes, I believe they were calling out of torture and fear to be freed.
then
Are you
do
willing
think it
to-
should be us to free 'em? I think that's
Are you willing to free me and it?
What would we have to do to free you?
Once my spirit and my body are free, I will likely be free. But I don't know. The best I can do is allow you to pass and see
Well?
if you can resolve the issue.
We very much would like to try. So if you would see it, if you would be kind enough to let us pass, I think we would be very grateful.
Yes, I will. Do you have the items you need to pass?
Without like drawing any of them, because they're all like weapons. I feel like I'm gonna like point to my shield, I guess, and like maybe like point out without looking threatening with any of them is my goal. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. I think I have the sword, sheathed at my waist, on my belt, so I just, draw up the hilt enough so that the aboleth can see the rubidium on it, and then I just clang it back down into the sheath.
What you anticipate is a nod from an aboleth, kind of wobbles. Well, those should open the entrance. But I check them and make sure they work. And then I feel you should go and relieve yourselves of whatever tasks you have remaining, as I don't know if you'll be able to return once you go down there.
The video game is telling us to go back and do things before we do the end game.
Go back to the save point. If you have anything else you wish to do?
Do you wish for me to allow any others to join you if they were to venture this way?
I mean, yes.
I mean, like, if we come back with anybody who's with us, can they get like a pass by being with us? Or like you're saying, like to let anyone else through to come meet us?
Yes.
Both. Volcano Los Dos.
More so, you have earned my trust, so I will allow you through without question. I would prefer you not to bring anyone else with you, But if anyone was to attempt to enter after you, do you wish for me to allow them to pass, or shall I attack and kill them on sight?
I mean, for the record, if I don't know why either of them would show up here, but if Naff or Greenie show up here, then please don't kill them on sight.
Okay, so here's a question, team.
Team Huddle.
Yes, we Cobalt Soul people are basically in a working relationship now with the Allegiance of All Souls. Is that right?
All
The
sight?
Allegiance of
All
All Sight
something?
have
All
only
Sight.
they have only specifically granted your party entrance down here, and they
But
would
I'm
not
trying to
allow
remember-
anyone else up.
I'm trying to remember the other ones that were
The
sniffing around that we don't like.
they're from the Vermilion Dream.
Vermilion Dream.
Hmm.
Because I feel like we should definitely say no Vermilion Dream people.
I mean,
Right.
like, for the record, I think he's gonna just kill whoever he doesn't like either way. Like, it's just like,
I know, but Carrie is trying to be like, okay, they're offering this, so let's at least take it with cautious good faith, right?
sure.
It's
I
an
just- I feel like
aboleth,
we
and
don't-
I'm taking it with cautious good faith. I can't
Yeah.
argue with this.
I mean, like,
Okay.
it'd be nice if he could at least extend, maybe not let people through, but, like, it'd be nice if he could extend the not killing people to any other Cobalt Soul people who come by. Like, if that could be at all. You know, like,
I kind of feel like we should say Allegiance of All Sight too, just because.
I feel like, yeah, maybe, like, you don't have to let them through, but if you could not kill the Allegiance of All Sight or Cobalt Soul unless they attack you first,
Yeah.
then, like, that'd be appreciated.
So
But
maybe we should go and tell them not to attack while we're down there.
I feel like
and then come back.
that's my answer.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think? Hell.
Let Naff or Greenie
I-
through if they come. Everyone else just don't kill them on sight unless they're the guys we don't like.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
That works. He nods, wobbles. Well, check your weapons to make sure the keys work. And he swims kind of over here.
So, how
I
do
feel
we?
cold.
I take out the
Never do.
sword. So, is there like an archway? Is there a? What's happening?
So as you move closer, you see that all of these like shimmering colors. This is basically it's black oil spinning in a circle with these colors kind of emanating from it. And as you guys kind of move closer to the rift, because you guys do have to like get up here, you can step into the inner part of the dome, and it looks a lot like an oil slick. If that helps you kind of imagine it a little bit better.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
When you get closer, the Jewel of Three Prayers that Ona wears,
Mm-hmm.
you see that the black oil that was kind of protecting the rift, where you could see through it, but as you went to touch it, you couldn't pass through it. As you get closer, the jewel emanates a glowing golden holy light that pierces through the black oily barrier. And now you can see the rift in all of its scarlet glory as almost like a tear in the plane itself. And as you all reach out and touch your ruidium weapons to it as keys to pass through a door, I need everybody to make charisma saving throws. I will let you apply that +3 to it. DC 18, please. As you feel the ruidium get this charge and it pulsates through your body.
Sorry, did you say charisma?
Charisma save, and you can add that +3, so whatever you roll, just add 3 to it. As you touch it, it opens, and as it opens, you all go to take a look, and the deafening darkness of the Netherdeep and the oppressive nature and the psychic resolve of that realm push back as you're trying to force your way in, opening to you, but at a cost of this much psychic damage to all of you.
Oh,
my
shit.
As a migraine splits across your skull, and you see that the rift opens completely, allowing you to enter. But the aboleth reminds once again,
Wait, I'm resistant to psychic damage because of my shield, right?
are you attuned to the shield? Does it
I am.
require-
I specifically sent
Oh,
a
there you
message that said
You're
in the
right.
chat in case it came up later.
There
Is
you
it
go.
shield?
So you take half that damage. So 19. But yeah, and the aboleth says once more, now that you have pierced it the first time, you should have no trouble again in the future.
Oof. Thank goodness.
I would recommend returning to the surface, resting, recuperating, and returning once you are fully ready to submerge yourself into another plane. As like I said, once you're down there, I don't know when you can come back.
This is very wise.
I mean, I'm okay to just keep going.
Well, you do know Jamil wants you
really?
back.
Yeah.
Can we sending stone to Jamil and then keep going, or do we have to like actually like?
That's up to you. You certainly can
I
send
mean,
him a message
I'm
as
not
soon as
saying I
yes.
wouldn't love to be like back up to 100%, but like all I've lost is some hit points. I guess you guys took all of that, so maybe you care more than I do about the hit points. But, like,
I really would like to go talk to Jamil just in case there's like any last minute assistance we can get. That's my thing right now. Is that there is a possibility maybe that we can take somebody with us because we're chill with the aboleth now. And yeah, Jamil may have some kind of something he can give us or just whatever. That's where I'm at.
I'd also be happy to use some of. I said earlier that I claimed that like 100 whatever gold because I didn't want to divide it up, but like I'm happy to use that to buy a healing potion if we find one.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
Not that we haven't tried to buy them every single time that we've been at the Cobalt Soul, but like
I mean, you guys,
But,
you guys haven't even been using them. You've just been stocking them.
Yep.
You have your own little potion shop on
For
you.
this.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
guys are heading back up to Jamil.
I really think, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Alexian Aboleth wobbles to you one more time as you go by. Let me ask you this: are you going to be taking Egdab Stabones the Third through where Insight is in
Oh, shit.
Scriblix, or are you gonna let him just go?
I am 100%. Oh, depending on, I only have him for 24 hours.
Yep. And also, he has
So
to
I
make
only
that.
have him for a couple hours.
He also
more.
has to make that charisma save too.
Oh gosh.
but he didn't have a
okay.
Ruidium thing,
Let me-
though, did he?
let
Did
me
we
do
give
that.
him a Ruidium thing?
No.
No, but
He
it's
doesn't.
every creature within it,
Oh,
within
okay.
that dome
Okay,
when
okay.
it opens. So
Hang on. Let me pull up the Skelly
and he
stats again.
can't eat, so he can't get that
Nope.
+3.
Nope,
So
nope.
I mean,
Oh, he's at -3, yo.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Nat
This is gonna be
20.
fun.
Oh, no, he can't.
he can't.
This is gonna be fun. No, we're just gonna see
do
what
it
happens.
for the Nat 20 because I want to see it.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing.
As
Nat 20.
you see, as you look over, just pieces of Egbad
Body.
Stabones the Third just are floating in the rift, and then one by one, each of the bones are sucked into
Each of the Stabones.
each of the Stabones are sucked into the realm of the Netherdeep.
Oh, he's waiting for us. It'll be fine. I can
I just
can,
want to, for the record, that we could have Eggbad Stabones the fourth if we really wanted
Yes.
to.
absolutely. I can do that. It is not a problem.
As you guys head back up without Egdab, you guys make it back to the library in the guided district, where you once again return to Jamil. And as you return to Jamil, you are ushered in quickly. He says, "So what happened? Tell me."
Well, we became friends with an aboleth, I think.
Oh,
Without compromising our morals or our ethics or our alignments, as far as I can tell.
excellent. Well, so you have items now that you can open the Netherdeep and get in.
Oh yeah, that's no problem.
And we did test them on the advice of the aboleth, and it was quite painful. But apparently, now that we have done it, we can go in again. He was also wondering if if we wanted anyone to go in with us in order to perhaps save his spirit as opposed to his soul. It's very complicated and metaphysical.
I don't have anyone that I trust to take care of this, as we're trying to keep this information in as close quarters as possible. And there's nobody else who is as capable as you for this particular mission. So, and I can't go myself, unfortunately.
I was about to ask, but yeah, you beat me to it.
Yes, that would be bad if I died. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to request that you three do this alone. But I do have the money I promised you all. Here's another 1,000 gold total. Split into. He looks quizzically for a second, realizing there's now only 3 instead of 4 of you, but doesn't seem to press the issue, and slides 3 bags of gold towards you each with 333 and a third gold pieces each.
What?
Well, I know what the next request is of me to you. Do you wish to rest before hearing it, or do you want me to give you the request now, rest, and then begin tomorrow?
Now that you've said you have a request, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep
I don't-
until you tell me now.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I need you to destroy the Netherdeep from the inside.
Destroy the Netherdeep?
I need you to go in, find a way to destroy it, and then come back and let me know that it's sealed. That will completely eliminate the flow of ruidium out of there into Kael Moreau, into the hands of Consortium of the Familiar Dream, as well as others. So it won't go unpaid. I would like you to complete it within 2 weeks. I don't know how long it's going to take you, but I have it on good authority that the Consortium of the Vermilion Dream. You've been gone since you long rested down there. You guys have been gone for about a day and a half at this point. I have it on good authority that the Consortium and the Allegiance are trying to stockpile that ruidium. But the Consortium, from one of our spies within their network, has apparently sent a group of skilled adventurers into the Netherdeep. They have a
no.
they have a backdoor. They have a backdoor into there somehow, where they were able to
Oh,
evade
no.
the aboleth. So we need you to go in there
Oh, no,
and
it's again.
eliminate the Netherdeep. Whether that's
Oh, it's again.
whether you take out that adventuring group or not is up to you. If they try and stop you from eliminating it, then do what you need to do. But your primary goal is to go in, find a way to destroy the Netherdeep, and come back alive. Hopefully within 2 weeks, because the plans from the Consortium are they're going to get as much ruidium as they can out, and then disperse it via the black market through Ankarel. and well, the rest of the realm.
Well, we
There's-
have requested that the obelisk not allow in anyone.
Oh, they don't have
from-
to. Apparently, there is another way in that they've been able to get in and out multiple times to get more ruidium. So apparently, they're able to get past the aboleth somehow. So, and I don't have time to find where that secret entrance is. All I know is that it's somewhere, and it's just better if you now have access. If you can just go and just destroy it, then it won't matter if they have an entrance because the Netherdeep will be gone. We don't
Would
necessarily.
you- Would you want us to request the obelisk to also keep the allegiance out as well?
Yes,
So it's
yes. I trust only you three to go, or your party, should I say? But if you can do this, and you can get back alive, hopefully in one piece. I don't have any specific artifact or magical item that I think would, at this time, that I think would be a good enough reward, but I have a surplus of gold, and I'll give you 2,000 gold pieces each if you can accomplish it. So,
Damn.
this sending stone. She pulls out the stone that Jamil has given them. Does it work across planes?
it is enchanted with the sending spell, which it does work across other planes, but there is a slight chance that it won't arrive. You can send it, and then it may or may not come through. Mechanically, there is a 5% chance that the sending spell does not cross the plane.
Are we like sitting around in Jamil's office?
Yeah.
Okay. Carrie leans forward and looks at him very intensely. Just with maybe a little smile and says, surely it has occurred to you that if you wish us to destroy this entire place, the means of its destruction will make it very difficult for us to come back alive.
Well, I don't have a spell that can return you back, but I don't know how you would destroy it. That's the other thing. The way to do it, it must be found down there. But if you can if you can get in and get out via the entrance, maybe you can set up some time restraint explosion or collapse and run. I don't know. Explosive ordnance is not my forte. The best I can say is explore, see what you can find, and
For the record, Ono would love to become a demolitions expert. I feel like this would be great. I just don't have the stuff to become a
yeah.
Oh, you could ask for some. And Carrie's still just looking at Jamil, and she says, I would like to have an assurance from you that should one or some of us not come back, that their 2,000 will be distributed to whoever is left.
Yes. 100%.
Very good. She leans back.
Well, can I take it as a yes, as you will go and complete this request?
Barry looks at Pell and Ono.
certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Well, I would recommend sleeping tonight, taking care of any business that you feel you need to take care of, and I know you're going to ask me for them sooner or later, but I did manage to get some of these brewed, and he hands you 2 greater healing potions and 2 superior healing potions.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Maybe now you'll stop asking me for these every time you see me.
Never.
As long as you keep sending us on these types of jobs for you, I don't think we will stop.
Well,
I
go.
would like to claim at least one of those for my bag of holding, but I also don't actually need them that much. But
I'm
know what I
just
mean?
a fan of distributing, you know,
Yeah,
so
like
that we
everyone
can
should
either
have a
take
little
them
something
or
something.
administer them. Yeah.
So 2
Yeah.
greater and 2 superior healing potions. But with that, get some rest. I'd start early in the morning, so you're not too far behind the other group who was sent. And hopefully you make it back in 2 weeks.
Indeed.
And with that, he kind of ushers you out of his office. And you, as the door closes behind you, you hear him take a large, deep, long sigh, as if both concern and relief is in his expiration of air. And you guys head, I assume, to the step aside, the comfortable inn where you guys have been staying.
Can I ask him one more thing?
Yeah.
About those teleportation tablets
Mhm.
that we've been seeing people using. Is that a thing that we might be able to get our hands on?
He says yes, but they're designed to your specific blood signature, and they take time to make. And if that's something that you wish for us to do, we can certainly, if you complete this request, then I will certainly make it a high priority. There are many, there's a lot of bureaucracy to go through,
And
but
That's fair.
basically what happens is we create a small tablet. You pour your blood into the carvings on the tablet, and it allows you, once within a certain amount of time, to cast the teleportation circle spell and end up back here at our headquarters, from anywhere on this plane. It's more of
well,
a
then
it's
that
more of
would
a
not.
it's more of a once a week kind of thing, but it is a good emergency escape.
Yes, so that would not be something we could get in time for this. I see.
Absolutely not. It takes quite
I
some
see.
time to do that. It takes a lot of magic and a lot of magicians, a few days at least per person. So it would take probably a couple of weeks just to make sure we have it down packed, so you don't, we could
I
rush shop it,
understand.
but that would give about a
Mm.
90% chance to explode. So you don't want that. But yeah,
I would prefer not to explode.
exactly. But he writes it down in his book before you leave as potential things to do, for you guys later. But as you guys are ushered out into the open guided district, you eventually make your way back to the step aside in the circlet walk. At this point, it's later evening time, probably just after dinner, 6-ish, closer to 7. You have the rest of the evening to do with whatever you choose, with the likelihood and his hope and intention of you heading into the Netherdeep tomorrow morning and hopefully returning within 2 weeks to avoid the distribution of ruidium and the imbalance of power within Ank'Harel and different portions of the realm. But with that, you guys have completed Chapter 5, our level 10, and we will pick up in 2 weeks, with right before you guys go to sleep. So if there's anything you want to do that evening, we can RP that when we return, and then you can begin your adventures into the Netherdeep.
Netherdeep.
Oh boy.
Very
Oh boy, oh
nice.
boy, oh boy, oh boy. Good job, y'all. Damn.
We
Guys!
talked the way out of everything.
We
Ah.
didn't fight.
You didn't. You avoided all of your fights.